Hello and welcome back. It's Professor Gray here. It's time to begin week number 8. This week, again, we will have 2 videos. This video, the main lecture video, and of course our listening lab video. So this is a regular week. You must complete all of the work, do the homework, and send me the email by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Next week, we will have our midterm test. The midterm test will be given during a class time, a regular class time. Now, I'm going to send an email before next week to tell you exactly what time your test will be. Most likely, I will give you the test during your listening lab time, because the test will take less than 1 hour, and those class times are 50 minutes. Probably that will be it, but anyway, I will send an email to you with more specific instruction before that happens. The test will cover units 1, 3, 5, and 8. We will finish unit 8 today, this week. And there will be vocabulary questions, there will be grammar questions, there will be questions about key points of the story. Some questions you will fill in the blank. Some questions you will take multiple choice. And so I'll ask you to give me some definitions of some key points or key words. Maybe some expressions or words from the stories. Okay, I don't know exactly how long the test will be, but somewhere between 30 minutes and 50 minutes, say 30 and 45 minutes. I'll send it to you online in an email. You will have a specific amount of time to finish the questions and send me your answers. And if you're late, then either you'll lose points or get 0. You must do it on time. Okay, there will be more information in an email to you probably next Monday morning very early. Although I might also send emails this week, Friday, with more instructions for next week. Next week, there will be no lecture videos, and so therefore no listening lab. But the homework I give you this week, you must finish by Thursday. Then you should review and prepare for the midterm test, which is only from the Green Book. We'll take the test next week, and then the week after that is when we will continue with study in the book. Okay, let's get to work. The answers you gave were very good. Page 108, 109, F. Good effort. Why did the USDA prepare a food guide? Really to 2 reasons, 2 basic reasons. They wanted people to learn about a healthy diet, learn what food is healthy, and they wanted people to improve their diet, improve their health. So basically, step 1, learn. Step 2, do or improve after learning about what diets are healthy, what foods are healthy. Number 2, fats, oil, and sweets, they're really non-essential. We could exist without them. A lot of you said that. A few of you said that they were essential, but we should have just a little bit. That's okay too. I think we can live without them, but I think the key point there is good, which is if you're gonna use fats, oils, and sweets, just a little bit. You don't need chocolate to survive, but if you have a little bit, it's not gonna hurt you. They're similar in many ways. They're not real foods. They're sort of almost like additives or extra things that you use for cooking and preparing. And generally they're harmful for you. Most of you said flat out they're just not good for you, especially if you have too much of them. Number 3, about the Japanese changing their diet. Well, a lot of you said just adapting to the local food culture. When you go to another country, when you go to a store, a supermarket, the local food is very available. It's much harder to find maybe the food from your country. Restaurants, obviously, there are great Japanese restaurants in the US, but not the variety and not as many as you would find in Japan, of course. So it's just adapting to the new food culture, the environment. Some of you said, making friends with Americans and going to dinner with them. Okay, yeah, that's all part of the adaptation. Good point. The cost of getting Japanese food and ingredients is much higher because it's imported, it's rare, it's tougher to find. Or just they want to. Maybe they like the taste, or they want to, they're happy. There could be a reason too. All of you had a lot of very good reasons about that. I look at myself, I live here in Korea. I eat Western food a lot, but I also eat Korean food all the time, almost every day, and I very enjoy it. So I've sort of adapted. I still eat some of my own food because it is available here to get Western food in Seoul. Is the many restaurants and the supermarkets have a good selection. But also I love to go out to Korean restaurants and have various kinds of Korean food quite very often. So a little bit similar. Okay, G, another look. Why do I eat when I'm not hungry? Let's read this together. I'll read it to you, and then I'll go over the answers. This was also part of your homework. The next time you want to eat something, ask yourself a question. Are you really hungry? If you answer no, then ask yourself why. Why do you want to eat when your body is really hungry? The following reasons may help you understand why you do so. In English, why you do so means why you do that, or why you do this. Why you eat when you're not hungry. Why do you do so? Why do you do that? I'm bored. Sometimes we are bored and don't have anything better to do. When this happens and you start to walk into the kitchen, stop yourself. Go to another part of the house and go for a walk. Very true. Very true. I find that I do that. I'm bored, nothing to do, and open the fridge looking for some excitement in the fridge, right? I don't know why we do that, but we do. And bad habit, better not to do that. I would do that when I was a student studying for, exams. A lot of other students would gain weight, in myself too, during the exam time. And that's connected to point 3 here. I have a lot of stress because of all the stress. So people would eat more and then open up the refrigerator and then close it again, and 10 minutes later open it up and look for food or take some juice or something, sort of like a way of relieving stress. But if you're eating each time, that's not good. It tastes good. Sometimes it does, but sometimes we eat anything we can find in the kitchen, even if it really isn't that great tasting. When I'm dieting, when I'm on a diet, dieting means you've changed your diet to lose weight. I eat a lot of food that I really enjoy. Eat less of it and enjoy it. As we talked about, I have a lot of stress, like students during exam time. In my universities, a lot of students gained weight because of the stress and the exam, and they're smoking more, eating more. Not good. This is often a common reason for eating. I often eat because of stress, not because I am hungry. I try to read a book or exercise instead. TV makes me want to eat. I rarely watched TV when I was thin. Excuse me. Then I started to watch TV almost every evening, and I gained 20 kilograms. Evening TV programs have many food commercials that make me run to the kitchen for a snack. My best advice is to stop watching evening television. Finally, because I'm really thirsty. Sometimes people eat because they are thirsty. Instead of having something to drink, people eat something that is often fattening. The next time you feel hungry, drink some water. If your stomach is making noise, it is time to eat. In English, I think I wrote this down, growling. Like, your stomach is making that noise. Growling is really like an angry dog. That's growling. So in English, we say when you're hungry, your stomach is acting like an angry dog, growling. If you want food between meals when your stomach is not making noise, don't eat. Remember, you should give your body some kind of nutrition, healthy food, 3 times a day. Some doctors say more. If you do have to eat between meals, eat a piece of fruit or a vegetable. Try to think about what and why you are eating the next time you want a snack. Ask yourself, why am I eating? Yeah, snack, okay, people have snacks when they're hungry. I understand, but maybe make it a healthy snack. You know, a piece of fruit, vegetable. Junk food, sweets, terrible idea. I know we all do it, but it's a bad habit. Look at the ladies, the young ladies in this picture. Look at them. Everything is wrong. Look at, they're eating potato chips, drinking Coca-Cola. Looks like some kind of chocolate. Almost looks like, the blue one is some kind of chocolate. The red one, it almost looks like a choco pie, but I'm not sure. But anyway, candy, sweets, junk. And maybe there's gummy bears. I don't know, might be gummy bears on her lap. Okay, this is all junk food. None of it's good for you. And it gets worse. What are they doing? They're watching TV. 2 friends watching TV together. When do you watch TV with your friend? Usually you watch it at night, in the evening, right? That's the most common time. So it's nighttime, it's evening. They're eating at night, bad. They're snacking, bad. They're snacking at night, bad. They're eating junk food, Coca-Cola. It's like sugar, caffeine. You won't sleep well. People eat ice cream late at night and then wonder why they gained weight. Don't do what these ladies are doing in the picture, please. Don't eat food late at night. And also, don't sit that close to the TV. That's also a bad idea. Number 1, the main idea is B. There are many reasons why people eat when they are not hungry. Number 2, just what it says in the story. You're bored, it tastes good, you have a lot of stress, watching TV late at night especially, like the ladies in the picture, or you're really thirsty. Instead of eating, you can drink water, go for a walk, read, exercise. Don't watch TV at night. Go to a different part of the house. Don't go to the kitchen. Don't open the refrigerator. TV commercials, they are made by experts. They want you to look at the TV and go, oh, that looks delicious. Oh, I'm hungry. But you're not. Those food commercials on TV are made to make you feel hungry. But if you watch them late at night, you're not hungry. You think you're hungry. The food looks delicious. And so you get some food. Oh, terrible. It's mean. Anyway, number 4, agree, disagree. Of course, that's up to you. That's your individual answer. Okay, let's move on. Page 111. Hana. Topics for discussion and writing. This is your written homework. H, number 1 and number 2. You must write down your answers directly on your email and send it to me by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Number 1, is there a high rate of heart disease or cancer in Korea? Yes or no, and why? Give me 2 reasons why. Probably you will say yes, but what are some of the reasons why you think there's a problem in Korea with cancer and heart disease? If you think no, then give me 2 reasons why no. Okay, that's fine. 2 reasons. Number 2, the passage discusses a healthy diet as a way to prevent disease. Make a list of 2 other ways to prevent disease. Okay, healthy diet, great. What are 2 other ways to prevent these diseases? Cancer, heart disease, diabetes. How can you help be healthier? Diet is 1. Don't use that. 2 more. And explain. Don't just say 1, 2. Tell me why. Tell me how it can help. Okay? I want thorough answers. By the way, in general, you did a better job this week with your answers. Everybody was giving a more than just quick answer. I want your answer and then a little reason, explain, tell me your thoughts. Okay, I don't want just yes, no, or point. I want a little bit more. Good work in last week's homework, guys. All right, grammar quiz. Let's do this now. Okay, yeah, go ahead now. Notice that you can use the answers more than one time. Okay, not one, twice, it's up to you. You can use them more than one time, and sometimes more than one answer is possible. So, grammar quiz, page 112. Try to finish in about 5 minutes, more or less. Okay, go ahead. As a result of years of research, we know that a lot of animal fat is bad for our health, or too much animal fat. A lot of, or too much. Okay. Large amounts of animal fat is bad. No. Large amounts, no. Okay. A lot of, or too much. That's it. Americans eat a lot of meat. Okay. A lot of meat. Large amounts of meat, I guess you could say, because meat is sort of plural, but I like a lot of meat and a small amount of grains, fruit, and vegetables. Number three, you could say fewer because they're pluralized. You don't say fewer meat, you say fewer grains, vegetables, and so on. So number two, a lot of. Number three, a small amount of, or fewer. Number four and number 7 are talking about disease, so we use rate, a rate of disease. Number 4, a high rate of cancer and heart disease. Number 7, a very low rate of cancer and heart disease. Number 4 and 7, disease, rate, high rate, low rate. Number 5, in Japan, in contrast, eat more grains and less meat. More X, less Y. Or a lot of grains and very little meat. A lot of grains and very little meat, not fewer meat. No, don't say fewer meat. Number 7, a very low rate of. Number 8, 9, and 10. Now, 8, 9, and 10, because doctors advise, okay, doctors never say eat a lot of. They never say that. They will just say eat more, increase. So number 8, eat more grains, fruits, and vegetables. That's what a doctor would say. Eat less meat. That's what a doctor would say. More X, less Y. And fewer dairy products with an S. Fewer with the plural. Less meat, no plural. Fewer products, dairy products. How'd you do? Good. All right. That's it for Unit 8. Now, the exam is on up to here, 1, 3, 5, and 8. That's it. But of course, we will continue our study. So today, let's continue the next chapter. This unit, Unit 9, Chapter 9, the material will be on the final exam, not the midterm exam. Okay, the midterm exam, 1, 3, 5, and 8. Alfred Nobel, a man of peace. There's an interesting picture there. That's a Nobel Prize. It's like a gold medal that you get in the Olympics. When you win a Nobel Prize, you get a lot of money, and you get an actual gold medal, like the one in the picture, like an Olympic athlete. That's also, of course, very valuable. What do you know about him? Look at number 1. He established the Nobel Prize. And A and C, he invented dynamite. First, he invented dynamite. He became very rich, maybe the richest man in the world or one of the richest men in the world. And then he invented the Nobel Prize. Okay. It's named after him, Alfred Nobel, Nobel Prize. Why did he do that? Well, I mean, it's a great idea, It encourages people to work hard and study and learn and help other people. But why? What gave him the idea? We're going to read an interesting story about how an accident, a mistake, helped give Alfred Nobel the idea to create the Nobel Prize. Read the story, page 114, 115. I like this story. I think it's interesting. And do part A on page 116, and then stop. So page 114, 115, 116, stop. Then we're going to review all that together. Are you ready? Go ahead. Okay, how was it? Good story. If you had trouble understanding the story, that's okay. We're going to go over it now. But I think most of you understood the gist, the main part, the main idea of the story. Alfred Nobel, a man of peace. The headline in the newspaper announced the death of Alfred Nobel on April 13th, 1888. The reporter called him a salesman of death. The dynamite king, because he invented this powerful explosive. Explosive to make an explosion, to blow up, to explode like a bomb. So we have an explosion that is made by an explosive when something explodes. In fact, Alfred Nobel's dynamite business had made him a very rich man. The newspaper story continued, giving Alfred Nobel's age, nationality, and other information about his business. However, the words "the Dynamite King" were all that the 55-year-old Swedish man read. Now, Swedish, okay? Not Swedish. No, in English it's Sweden, Swedish. Alfred Nobel, by the way, he was from Sweden. Alfred Nobel was a Swedish man. Alfred Nobel sadly put down the newspaper. No, he wasn't dead. His brother Ludwig had died the day before. Oh, okay. Ludwig is a sort of a name for a man in German and Swedish. I think it's a little old-fashioned now. But there's a very, very famous man in history named Ludwig. Do you know who it is? No, it's Beethoven. Beethoven, right? The composer. His first name was also Ludwig. The French newspaper had made a mistake. All the same, still, even so, nevertheless, Alfred Nobel was disturbed. He was upset, bothered. Was this the way the world was going to remember him? In a negative way. He did not like that idea at all. He had spent his life working for peace in the world. He hated violence and war. He had invented dynamite to save lives, lives that were lost because other explosives were dangerous to use. He wanted people to remember him as a man of peace. Now, when you think of dynamite, you don't think of peace. You think of, violent explosion. But it's useful. It's helpful. We use it every day, somewhere in the world. But it's dangerous, okay? Yeah, it's dangerous. But Alfred Nobel had a rare opportunity. The newspaper made a mistake. They said, Alfred Nobel died. So when you die, you cannot read the newspaper about you because you're dead. So you don't know what people will say. But he did. Because his brother died and the newspaper made a mistake. So he had this special chance to read about his own death, even though he didn't die. This is what started his thinking. He's like, wait, they're being negative. They're saying I'm a salesman of death? No. What can I do to make this better? Of course, I will die one day. But when I die, I want people to think of me as a good person, a man of peace, a man who helped humanity. This mistake started the idea of the Nobel Prize. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite at a perfect moment in time, perfect time in history. Moment in time means a time in history, that moment, that time. Many countries were beginning to build railroads and tunnels and needed a safe, powerful explosive to construct, build, construct, synonym, same, build, construct. Railroad tracks through mountains. People also needed dynamite to blow up, explode, stone in order to construct buildings, dams, and roads. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite for these peaceful uses. Moreover, he believed that if all countries had the same powerful weapons, they would see how impossible war was and wars would end. Good idea, but didn't work. In fact, this was a popular idea of his day when he was alive. Okay, at that time, when he was living, of his day, past time. Nobel was very upset about the image. The image means picture, but really here, the reputation, the feeling, the opinion that the world had of him. But he did not know what to do about it. He thought about his problem for years. He wanted to think of the best way for people to use his fortune, big money, wealth, of $9 million after his death. Then in 1895, an adventurer named Salomon August Andrée made plans for an expedition to reach the North Pole. Expedition. People all over the world were excited about Andrée's journey. Notice the synonym, the connection. Expedition, journey, a trip, a voyage. An expedition is a very special trip, very difficult trip. Something that's dangerous. You must prepare very well. You want to climb Mount Everest. It's an expedition. It's not easy. You just don't go walking up Mount Everest, right? It's an expedition. You prepare, you plan, it's dangerous. You must do it right. Going to the North Pole. You don't just walk to the North Pole for something to do. You plan, you prepare, you're very careful. Oh, so many things. Not easy. Expedition. Note X, EX, out, going out, and PED, ped, foot, feet going out. PED, ped, like pedal on a bicycle where you put your feet. Pedestrian, walking on their feet down the street. Moped, motorized walking, motorized ped, walking. All these words. Even the word tripod, P-O-D, pod means the same as ped, 3 feet, right? Tripod, 1, 2, 3, triangle, pod, P-O-D, same as ped. Nobel read about Andrée's plan too and had an inspiration, an idea. He finally knew what to do with his fortune. He wrote his last will and testament statement. A testament is an official statement, legal statement. We usually just call this a will. You know, when you're an old person, you write down, okay, when I die, I want my son to get this, my daughter to get this, and that's called a will, W-I-L-L. But the official name is last will and testament. In his will, same thing, he instructed people to use all of his money for an annual award as an honor to leaders of science, literature, and world peace. He stated, okay, testament, testimony, statement, he stated that these leaders could be men or women of any nationality. Alfred Nobel died on December 10th, 1896 at the age of 63, a very young man. He was unmarried and had no children. He's one of the richest men in the world and no family. His brother died, remember? They thought it was him. So he had no family. What's going to happen with his fortune? People all over the world wondered who was going to get Nobel's money. They were amazed when they learned of Alfred Nobel's plan to award annual prizes in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. The first Nobel Prizes were awarded in 1901. Okay, not 1901. No, 1901. 1902 up to 1909. Right? Don't say 1903, 03, 04. And they very soon became the greatest honor that a person could receive in these fields. In 1969, an award for economics was added. The report of Alfred Nobel's death had been a mistake. But the decision that he made because of this error, mistake, error, notice, synonym, mistake, error, gave the world the image he wanted. Alfred Nobel established the Nobel Prize, and the world thinks of him the way he wanted to be remembered. Alfred Nobel, man of peace. When you think of the Nobel Prize, you think of very good things. Peace. The most famous prize is the Peace Prize, but there's also, chemistry and physics. There's all these prizes awarded for helping people, doing good work for people. So this is also a kind of peaceful thing. Look at the picture. Now, this building is it bombed? No, it's not exploding. This is imploding. I am going in. I-N, same meaning. To implode is when you say the government says, we must bring this building down, but they must do it carefully and safely, of course. So they don't blow it up, they don't explode it, they implode it, and it falls down safely, kind of inside on itself. It makes a mess, but it's safe. Nobody gets hurt. And we'll get to the point at the bottom a little bit later. One word I want to point out here is it's in your it's in your class notes. Legacy, Legacy, Legacy. What you leave behind when you die, you leave something for the world. People remember you. Your children. If you have children, that's your legacy. They live after you die. You leave it for the world. A musician leaves his music or her music. An artist leaves his or her art. Anything like that. A leader, sometimes a great leader leaves a legacy. They make their country a better place in some way. This is a very important word, always, but especially with Nobel and the Nobel Prize. The Nobel Prize was his major legacy, even more than dynamite. When you hear the name Nobel, almost everybody, the first thought is Nobel Prize. Maybe also dynamite, but definitely Nobel Prize. A, page 116. Part 1 is C. Alfred Nobel was a peaceful man who gave the world a great prize. Part 2, accomplishment. He invented dynamite. Why? Reason. To help save lives. To help with construction of bridges, dams, railroad, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Help save lives. The result, quote, quote, salesman of death. Negative. Negative result, salesman of death. He established the Nobel Prize. Why? To honor leaders in their fields. To honor scientists, leaders, people who do great things. Honoring them. Result, in quotes, man of peace. Positive. Dynamite, negative, salesman of death. Nobel Prize, positive, man of peace. All right, good work. How are we doing? Okay so far? One more thing. I want you to do reading analysis, B, number 1 through 9. Try to finish it in 10 minutes or so. If you need a little more time, it's okay, but about 10 minutes. Page 117, 118, and 119, and then stop. That's it. Finish at page 119. Okay, 10 minutes or so, go ahead. Number 1, page 117. A, however, means but. However, the words mo. B, Robert wanted to go to the beach. However, opposite. However shows opposite. But, opposite. It rained. 1. Go to the beach, but it rained, so no beach. C, all. The Dynamite King were all that the 55-year-old Swedish man read. 2. Only. All means only that. All is 100%, everything. So this was everything he read. This was the only thing he read. All that he read. Number 2, all the same, Alfred Nobel was disturbed. All the same means still. Even so. Nevertheless. Disturbed, upset. B. Okay, it did not matter that the news was a mistake. Alfred was still upset. All the same, he was upset. All the same, he was disturbed. Still, he was upset, disturbed, bothered. Number 3, C, at all means, now I think we talked about this before. At all goes with negative. Not at all. Nothing. Zero. Okay, he did not like that idea at all. Not Momo at all. Did not like it at all. 0%. He liked nothing. He hated it. C, he did not like anything. Not at all. Number 4, C is the best one. Lives that were lost, explaining what lives. Not an example. He doesn't give an example of what lives exactly, like this life, this man, that woman. No, just explaining which lives, what kind of lives were in danger. C, number 4, C. Number 5, A, moreover, means in addition, and plus, also. Number 5, B, Robert needed to learn English because he wanted to go to college in the US. Moreover, also, 1, he had to speak English to get a good job. And C, his day refers to, as we said, number 3, when he was alive. Of his day, at the time he was alive, the time that he lived. 3. Number 6, fortune means wealth, money, lots of money. C. Number 7, okay, again here, this is a footnote. We learned this, remember, the USDA. Okay, this is a footnote, and you get the answers on page 115. A last will and testament, a legal paper that states how a person wishes his or her possessions to be distributed after his or her death. Okay, that's the last will and statement. Usually we just say a will. This is my will. This is her will. And so number 7, the answer is I just gave you what it is, and you really just need to say footnote, F-O-O-T-N-O-T-E, bottom of the page, a note at the bottom at the foot. Number 8, Alfred Nobel had a plan to award annual prizes in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. Field A is number 2, subject area. A field is basically like your major, a field of study. When you have a major, that's your field of study. Then you graduate and you get a job working in your field. So your field of study is engineering. That's a field. Then you graduate and you work as an engineer. You work in that field, that profession. So field goes from study to profession. Of course, kind of goes together, right? It's like 1, 2. So it can mean both. So you can think of it a major. What are other fields? Law, the field of law, education, engineering, medicine, pharmaceutical studies. Anything that you can major in is a type of field. Fine arts, sure, why not? And number 9, of course, error. We talked about that already. Mistake and error are synonyms. That's all for today. Good work. So the homework, as you know, was section H on page 111. Section H, 1 and 2. H, not 3 and 4. H1, H2, page 111. And give me 2 reasons for number 1 and 2 examples for number 2. Also, I want you to finish C on page 120. Dictionary skills and 121, it's a lot. Okay, section C, section D, page 122 and 123, grammar. And E, vocabulary and context, 124, then stop. Page 125, no. Stop at page 124. Okay, you must do the homework this week. You must submit it by Thursday, 5 o'clock. I will review it in 2 weeks. Okay, get the homework done, send it to me, and then focus on reviewing for the midterm test. The midterm test is next week. After the midterm test, I will review the homework today. So today's homework will not be reviewed for 2 weeks, okay, after the midterm test. I will give you more information about the test in emails, but as I said, chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 5, and chapter 8. And that's it. Vocabulary, grammar, expressions, story questions, key points, and so on. Be prepared for any question that comes from the book. There will be one reading passage that is new, one that you have not studied, and you will read the story and answer the questions. The story will be based on the same topics that we studied, one of the 4 topics from the book. All right? Any questions at all, email and ask me. Get the work done, send me your email, ask me questions, and next week you will take your midterm test. I'll give you more information soon by email. Good luck, everyone. Have a good week. Bye-bye.